The Mystic Meals Podcast.
The Mystic Meals Podcast.
With your host, Chef Nikki Meow. We talk about food, life. Oh, and we also talk about...
Oh, yeah!
Baby. You better be ready. Right now, here's your host, Chef Nikki Meow. Get it, baby.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another tasty, funny, and delicious episode of the Mystic Meals Podcast with me. I'm your friendly neighborhood homegirl, Chef Nikki Meow, and on this episode, I am pleased to have this guest with me. He is a comedian, he's an actor, he's a cartoonist, he's a writer, and he hosts his own podcast called Dystopia Tonight. Sorry, I'm reading my notes. I don't really prepare a script or anything. You guys know that by now. But I am pleased to welcome him to the stage, Mr. John. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Poveromo. I'm so sorry. Hold, please. Let me bring you here. Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? What's going on?
Not much. Just just preparing. I've got a benefit coming up at the end of the month. That I do annually for the National MS Society. So,
right.
That's been taking up most of my time.
I bet.
I've got a couple stand-up gigs coming up, but other than that, it's just been focused on this massive 24-hour benefit.
Yeah. I want to hear all about it because I'm so intrigued with how you got that started and the whole 24-hour marathon that is, and everything that you've got going on, your superhero origin story. You already know. We're going to roll it back to the beginning and then jump around and chop it up. So,
sweet.
But I appreciate you taking the time to be here with me because I know you're super busy with everything.
No. Thank you for having me.
Indeed. And I love your hair.
Thank you.
Your hair is just as unruly as mine, so I don't feel bad.
I love it. I appreciate it. And I'm also going to apologize in advance. I haven't had a chance to eat today, and this is I'm going to be.
Need to do.
But this is the Chef Nikki Meow podcast.
That's
so
right.
I figured,
and
it's
you'd be
sushi,
surprised.
so
Most people don't really eat during the show, which I'm like, they could take full advantage of. But I guess people are self-conscious about the. I don't know. I don't care. Do what you got to do, man. I know time is precious.
Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name.
Whose name?
I'm trying to think of who's the remember the show Perfect Strangers?
Yes.
The cousin with the accent. I had him on and I'm blanking. I love that dude.
Oh my God. Okay, I know he played Balky. I was just talking about him because I just watched a clip of him from Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh yeah, I'm having a senior moment here with his name.
The heart guy. He's like
right.
Yeah.
But he's great. But he came on and immediately started the podcast, and he was just eating. I think it was like beans out of a can.
Nice.
And I was just like, oh, bold
That's
move.
hardcore, man.
Because I haven't eaten on a podcast since pandemic day. You know what I mean? Where people were just I don't mind it. I don't really care. If people do it, but I was just like, oh, I try never to do that. But I was like, well, he's a chef. And my food was late.
I'll make an exception today.
Yeah, I was like, my food was super late, and I was like, well, what am I gonna do?
Right.
And
that's the thing, because I always do this, and everybody's in different time zone. It's always dinner time, but it's a time that works best, where it's I can kind of dedicate to this. But I'm always starving Marvin too. But
no, I get it. I had a plan to eat before this, and it just literally, I don't know if they got lost or what. They
no, the day got away from me today. Before I knew it, I was like, holy shit! I was like, I got to hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Well, like I said, I'm glad that you're making it happen. You're multitasking. You're doing what you do. What are you eating, by the way?
Sushi.
Nice. What kind of sushi? What'd you get?
Spicy tuna and some other thing they actually gave me for free, which is so nice. Yeah.
It was your day.
Yeah, it was. I think they were like, we're sorry the food was late. Here's more.
We're sorry. Here, take this.
Yeah.
Is that your usual go-to?
Love sushi. It's my I eat it 3 times a week or whatever if I can. But I'm a pretty I like sandwiches. I'm a pretty simple I love Mexican food. I love pizza. I love Italian food. Actually, not as. I mean, I grew up Italian and I like Italian food, but it's not. I don't seek it the way most Italian. Like people are like, oh, pasta every night. I think it's because if it was like that,
right?
That I'm like,
yeah.
I'm good. I could do without it. I don't need to,
Right.
But like, I'm not. But I do love sandwiches. I can have a sandwich every night for the rest of my life and be totally fine.
I hear ya. I've been craving like a really good, like meaty, like ridiculous sandwich. Yeah. Like, what do you like to put in your sandwiches?
I'm pretty basic. I'm pretty simple. I like turkey sandwiches. I like Swiss, and like any kind of spicy mustard, honey, like that kind of a thing. Roasted red. I love a good grilled chicken sandwich, roasted red peppers, mozzarella on like a semolina bread. That's like good. That's a great sandwich right there.
Semolina bread is really hard to find out here. Last time. It is, yeah, because everybody's like Dutch crunch, sourdough, California.
I love the sour. I know, because sourdough is like, yeah, dude. When I lived out there, I couldn't get a fucking bagel to save my life.
No, it's not the same at all. Everybody's like, or they'll say a bagel. I'm like, I'm about to punch you.
Yeah, but sandwiches too. Like I remember being like, what do you want to eat for lunch? I'd be like, I'd love a sandwich, and they'd be like, oh, we know a great sandwich place, and they'd take me, and I'd be like, this is not a sandwich.
Right. You're like, what is this?
Yeah, whatever you just fed me was not. And I'd be like, is the bread good? And they'd be like, oh, no, yeah, don't worry. It's real good bread.
Yes, it's on 12 grain, multi-grain, single grain, single origin, bread.
Like, or if I wanted to get a really good sandwich.
Has a story.
Yeah, I'd have to go to some like fucking artisan place where they were like, this is a fucking $84 sandwich. And I'm like, is there gold in it?
Come with a pamphlet. Yeah.
Yeah. Horrible.
I don't understand. Yeah, no. I mean, there are some decent places, but they're hard to find. But yeah, it's very different, and you must request no avocado if you don't want it in your sandwich.
Luckily,
me too.
Love avocado.
I do, but I see how for some people it throws them off because they're like, maybe I'm gonna do. Like, well.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I just went to this place in Pennsylvania called Tobias Frog, and it was like it was so good. It was like I had like mahi tacos, and she had this like grilled cheese with like a cutlet in there with like whatever. Oh my god, it was so good on salad. That was really good.
That sounds good.
It was so good.
We're going to be talking about food this whole time.
That's fine
by
me. Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. We're both hungry. Both looking to chow down.
I know.
So good.
I'm already thinking about like,
what are you gonna have? What's for dinner? That's my thing though too. Like, I will always end a phone call if it's before. I'll be like, "What are you eating tonight?" And like whoever I'm talking to, and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah.
I do not know.
Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I know. Well, earlier today, I made a spicy risotto with chorizo and mussels. So that was lunch.
Beautiful.
That was lunch. Dinner, I'm not too sure. My daughter's been asking for spaghetti and meatballs, so I might do that for her. Because that's one of her favorite things, so it might end up being a pasta night for us, which is fine. But it depends on my mood. I go back and forth because sometimes I just want to eat and get it over with, and other times I feel fancy schmancy and just want to tear it up and do that thing. So, but yeah, that was the menu today.
Beautiful.
And yeah, so I wanted to eat a little bit earlier, so I was prepared for this, but it backfired because like I was like, oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so let's try to like hone it into. We've done the food thing. We know we're both we love to eat and everything. So tell me about yourself as much as you want to reveal and divulge about how you were set upon the path that you've chosen in terms of comedy, your writing. I want to know about your cartooning because that really intrigues me very much.
The cartooning was something I loved, cartoons all my life and everything. And but I started drawing as a way to like distract and entertain myself while in school because I was just bored. And then I hated being there. And I also thought like, oh, you know what I could do? I can't because I would watch like early morning cartoons before I left.
Yeah.
For school. And hated leaving to go to school.
Yeah.
And then, but I was like, oh my God, this is rough. And then I was like, oh, but it'd be great if I could just take them with me.
Right.
And so I would learn how to draw. So like, I would just have my notebooks and then I would draw all my favorite characters and figure that out. Like, and then it became a thing of a way to get to know people. Cause like once they found out you could draw, they would talk to you about it. And then like all
Right.
the girls would ask me to draw on their, on their books that were in brown paper on their book covers. And so I would like draw little cartoons and shit on there and stuff like that. So, and then I found comic strips to be, particularly hilarious and really funny. And there was a great way to express my frustration with all the things I saw that were kind of like bullshit that we had like in school. It was like the way there were political cartoonists, and there still are, that kind of saw the world. Like I just did that, but I focused in on school, like whatever we were in, elementary school, middle school, high school, middle school, especially is when I really started to do it, because we had a couple teachers that we just did not all of us vibe and gel with. So I would draw caricatures of them and like, on the rules that they had handed out and draw that kind of stuff. It was just my
very
way
like Mad Magazine kind of.
Yeah, it was my way to kind of rebel against, because I loved Far Side and Bloom County and honestly, I got into the comic strips like that through Garfield. Garfield was my favorite. Yeah. And it was a great gateway into it, and Peanuts. And then I really started to get into like, Bloom County, The Far Side, and Calvin and Hobbes.
Yes.
And I just liked their takes on different life stuff. And then there was Non Sequitur and Q and all that kind of stuff. So I loved it. And it was also like, because I loved comedy and comedians and stuff. And that influenced me a lot and whatever, but I was not ballsy enough to say that's what I wanted to do. I liked when my friends said it. I would let other people say, you're really funny. You should be you should do that, or you're really like physically funny, or like whatever, and I would, make jokes and stuff. But for some reason, the more tangible thing to me was cartooning and being a cartoonist, because you could visibly see it. And also I didn't have the risk of somebody saying, you're
not funny, right?
Yeah, this guy's not, or this guy can't be a comedian, or whatever the hell it is. So it was just this great, disguise to be like, because I would, either way I won, I want to be a cartoonist, and
exactly,
I can draw, and no one's going to tell me, because no one understood what it was to begin with. Like, the bullies didn't particularly understand, it was just something you draw, so they didn't understand the mechanics of it or whatever it was. But if you were like trying to be a wise ass, you could still do that too. But to say that you were going to do that as a career, I think people could shoot that down a lot quicker. Yeah. And I don't know that they would have. I just assumed that would be the case. So I never, announced it until maybe like high school. I think I said I had more of an interest in doing stand-up, or I was thinking about it, because I got like class clown by my senior year or whatever, out of like 500 kids and stuff like that. So I think it was maybe more evident then. And I went in and out of drawing stuff for a while, or like I was really heavily into it and making my own comic strip. But also as we were doing that, comic strips were kind of, they're still on the paper now, but they were very much on their way out. Yeah. So just the online stuff was becoming popular. And I had an art teacher, two really great art teachers. And one of them did try to be a cartoonist. And I thought that was fascinating to me. I was like, because I had a couple of art teachers that were like, cartooning's not a great, it's not real. Like, you need to draw this way, that way, blah, blah, blah. And she loved comic strips and loved cartooning. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. So she and I got along really well. Yeah. But that was the cartooning thing. And then for stand-up, and you let me know if I'm talking too much, but
no, please.
But for stand-up, it started because I, again, always had an interest in it. And then I was dating this girl senior year of high school into like freshman year of college. And we broke up, and I didn't really want to be in college. And I had friends who went into the arts like immediately after high school, and one of them was a really close friend of mine, Angela, who has since passed away. But she was just a multi-instrumentalist and an actor and a like really had a really great voice. She was a great singer. And she left for LA right away. And I remember her like taunting me as you were graduating, and she was kind of like, you don't want to fucking go you're not going to go. You're going to hate it. Just come to LA and just and just do that, and we'll just do it together. And I was in this, what I thought was a serious relationship, and then I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I was like, this is, I don't know. And it wasn't even like I had any pressure from my parents to like stay in college or anything like that either. It was just like all my friends were going, and I didn't have any it wasn't presented to me in a way that was like, if you have another option, you could go and do this thing. It was presented to me as some people just can't handle college. And I resented that. That was like, I'm not fucking stupid. I can handle it. It just seems like it's
it's like this oddball challenge of like, yeah, well, we'll see if you can hang. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about that. And I don't know. I mean, again, maybe at one point in time, it maybe meant something more. But like, no, there isn't anybody who has yet sold me on the idea that it would have been like a good, like, so from what I understand, and all throughout high school, it was like putting up with people, whose GPAs were amazing, and I was all in honors classes too. And so like, I just was more of a hand in his work late, and I probably very much so had like ADHD or whatever, and then no one diagnosed me with it. So I just had to I built coping mechanisms, but also was still
as we all do,
and it was one of those things that like, you just became that person who was like, oh, it would have been an A, it's a B, but you didn't do this on time or whatever. And I was kind of like, hey,
you need to apply yourself more.
Whatever. But also like, struggling and balancing out, worrying about that kind of shit and where you're going to go and trying to keep up with your, friends or whatever. But from what I understand, and this is me now 20 years into doing comedy and being in this industry, I've met, I don't know how many people with amazing degrees who I have either hired as a team, like to work on my team or like to build stuff out or do something, who have no fucking clue what they're doing, have no creative input or output or anything like that. And, can't do, or I find myself explaining things and skill and finding ways to do something that they either never thought of or don't want to think of, or they're limiting themselves by what their hours are, how much they're getting paid or whatever it is. And I'm always just kind of like even I've worked with other companies to do stuff, even putting this benefit together. I've worked with certain groups who are like part of PR and all other crap. And I'm like, how is it that I'm a comedian with no experience or background in what you're doing, and yet you're getting paid for this thing? Like my brain does not work, and I can't comprehend
process.
That like, so you went to, somebody paid for you to go to school, or you paid for whatever it is. You went, you became this thing. This is what you're experienced in.
Right.
And I'm now explaining to you like how and I'm like, and the results don't match, and like what you're telling, like all this stuff about, and then I just wind up going back to, oh my God, like, all these people got their asses kissed. I don't begrudge them. Everybody finds their way to do it, but like, it's so weird for people like us to go through that especially as a kid.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh my God, this is all that matters, and I'm going to be such a fuck up, and all these people are telling me, what has to be done. And they don't say it in a way that makes sense. They don't say, hey, listen, you are part of a system and a machinery that has existed for so long that we don't know how to break this thing.
Yeah, so, we don't know how to break that cycle.
Yeah, and none of it means anything. But we don't know how to quantify who you are without it.
Right.
Because to me, I'm just like, oh my God, like all these people got their ass kissed, and they went to school and they went to college, and all you did was shit out kids, and you live in a cul-de-sac. Like, you know what I mean? Like I thought you were going to cure cancer. Like,
it's like,
I thought you were impressive.
They have no experience. There's no life experience that applies enough to what they're doing. It's like they just, I went through that a lot in culinary school with people that, came from all different walks of life, and they were just kind of put there because they were told that they were so good at it, and they were going to be this and they were going to be that. It's like, this is nothing. Like being out in the real world is nothing compared to the soft, cushy environment of being in school. And I think like back in the day, like careers like that just were not taken seriously as a viable means of sustainability. So, and because, you only had certain choices, right? Like it was like doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. Like you only had like a few, you know what I mean?
Are those still available?
Yeah, I think so.
A couple of them.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere. I always wanted to run away with the circus myself. Because that's just what I just didn't understand like why you couldn't. Like, why couldn't you do it? Because so many others before us had done it. So it's like, they did it, so why can't I do it? Like, what's wrong with that? It's really just about like how people kind of perceive where they're coming from, right? Like, it didn't work out for them, so it can't really work out for you either. So, oh, by the way, Bronson Pinchot. Bronson
That's
Pinchot. It just because if I don't say it, it's gonna be gone.
No, thank you. Good. That was great.
Like as we were talking, like his face just kind of was just
beautiful.
Like,
yeah.
You remember me now, don't you?
Yeah, right. Yeah, but anyway, that's how I wound up doing that. We broke up.
Mm.
And then at one point I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be and I was like, fuck it. I guess I'm just going to take this chance. And I started in Manhattan and then just never looked back. Like just kept going with it. And it's been, I've had odd jobs, to take care of it beforehand or in between, but for the most part, it's just been it's been a ride.
Yeah. Do you remember your first stand-up gig?
Yes, it was at Caroline's on Broadway.
Uh-huh.
My family, my mom and my stepdad and a couple of their coworkers came who I knew. And then my close friends came. So like my friend Greg, who does the benefit with me, who produces it, and my friend Katie and this other guy, Mikey, and trying to think of who the hell else came. I know there was a few other friends. Sean, my friend Sean stayed over the night before. We had at my house, and then we drove into New York together. And I had my first show at Caroline's. I did 5 minutes, and I did well, and it went over really well.
Aww.
And then bombed after the next night I had.
Well, you got to balance it out,
Absolutely. The next gig I had, they were like, oh, it was a different club. And they were like, can you do 10 minutes? And I was like, can I? Yeah. And then I invited a different group of friends who couldn't make it out. And I just ate a fucking dick.
Wow.
And I was like,
You're like, so this is what it's like.
Yeah. And still wanted to do it after that in spite of it. Because I was like, well, now this is bullshit. I know I can do it. And then
it's like once you get a taste for it, like that's it,
Yeah.
Like you hit the lights and you're like, all right, like, yeah, I could do it.
Yeah.
I know.
I really wanted to do it. I mean, it was so much fun. And I came up at a weird time too, because they were like bringer shows were like a really strong scam con that the club scene was working at the time because they were dying. There was like there was definitely like a second boom in my time coming up, but for the most part in the beginning it was like comedy clubs are just fucking tanking, and so they were like, well, if you want to try to be a comedian, you have to bring or pay to get on stage and stage time. It was such a it didn't work in any comedian's favor at that time because you could not develop that way.
Yeah.
You can't.
I mean, especially if you're stressing out on like if you have to pay to be there in the first place, like, I mean, you're barely scraping up, the means just to get there.
Yeah. Luckily, I got picked up by a couple headliners quickly.
Good.
And taken out on the road, so I didn't have to do bringer shows or, they wouldn't make me after a bit. Like I didn't do that for very long.
Well, that's good. I mean, but you got your feet wet. You got your experience, and you toured, right? You toured the country.
I did for sure. Yeah, still do. Yeah, but I did for sure. I went out with a bunch of different dudes who were just like really great to me, and we had a really good time. And just took me on the road and took me everywhere. So it was it was good. It was a good experience.
So what was that like for you? Like the first time like you went out on the road? Like how did you feel? Did you feel like?
First time I went out on the road, on the way back, I wound up pumping diesel into my brand new Honda. So
nice.
That wasn't the best.
The reality.
Yeah. It was like a 3-hour car ride or 4 maybe.
Yeah.
Upstate New York, me and this guy, James Oakes, and it was a gig in an ice rink, like ice rink / bar in Plattsburgh, New York. And then we were coming back and it was like just one pump or something. What this shit gas station that I did not pay attention. He didn't either. He didn't drive. He had a DUI.
Wow.
And then I did, and I had a brand new car. I worked at a bank at the time, and I just fucking like a moron. It was a great gig. It was a lot of fun. I was happy to do it. And I pumped the diesel in there.
Nice. And how'd that go?
Not great. It putted out like a goddamn Warner Brothers cartoon, and he just went, he goes, I smelled diesel. Did you put diesel? And I was like, I don't know. What's the difference? Like,
exactly. What's the difference? Gas is gas.
Yeah. And we were stranded, and I had to wait for and it started to rain, and I had to call my parents, and they had to get a tow truck out, and it was like, I don't know, $1,700 or something like that. Oh, and they had to they saved the car, but they had to clean it. It was insane.
I bet that car needed some fine tuning after that. Oh my God.
I remember my stepdad being very cool. And because it was honestly what could you fucking do?
Right.
And I was up all night. And I had to ride back with this fucking tow truck dude who had to take it back to the Honda dealership. I mean, 3 hours. I thought it was gonna, the worst. And there were no I think I definitely had cell phones, but I don't think it was the extent that we have them now.
Yeah. They were more like
2005.
The size of a shoe. Yeah.
Yes,
the antenna, the obnoxious antenna that you had to pull out. Yeah.
And it was and so when I got back into town, my stepdad was like, "Do you want breakfast?" When he just took me to IHOP, and he was like, maybe they'll save the car. We don't know.
Right. Maybe we'll, maybe not.
Maybe
it's not for new one.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And he was like, "What's the point of getting
beating a dead horse about it? It's done."
Yeah. Well, I was like, "Okay, this is great."
That's good. At least he was cool about it, teaching you just to roll with the punches.
At that point,
how it goes.
Yeah.
This is the way it is.
Yeah.
That's good though, because it teaches you how to handle stuff when it happens and not freak out. But that completely sounds like an episode of some kind of TV comedy series. Just everything that happened on that first go round, and then it rained.
First road, yeah, and then the rain.
Yeah, and then ending it at IHOP, getting breakfast,
oh my God,
well, it's a new day.
No, and they saved the fact they were able to save the car was wild.
Yeah, memories.
And I remember talking to Oaks about it. I was like, "Oh man, I thought you were gonna be like, I'm never going on the road with this kid again." And he was like, "No, that made me like you even more."
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, it's still an adventure. Never a dull moment, right? It would have been boring. Okay, let's go back now.
I know.
There's got to be some shenanigans.
And down the line too, all my best friends in comedy, one of my buddies, Vinny, would be we'd pull up to a gas station at a gig or pull up somewhere. I remember us pulling up to just a rest area, and I pulled alongside of a vending machine. He was like, "Hey man, don't fill the car with M&Ms. I'll be right back."
Yeah. Don't get crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never live it down.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I still haven't. It's been 20
that's
years
awesome.
later.
That's awesome. Though. Well, that's how you've got good people around you when they can bust your chops like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So what led you to the MS fundraiser that you're doing? How did that happen?
So the fundraiser itself, my mom was diagnosed 20 years ago, and she's good, no symptom, all that stuff. So that made me more aware of what it was.
Right.
And then one of my close friends had it. One of the guys I wound up, doing a lot of podcasting with, his wife has it. Another friend I had made, who was an opera singer, got taken off the road because it was so bad. And his is progressing in a not great way. But anyway.
Right.
So it's one of those things that you hear about it. It's like anything else, when you hear a song and you're like, "Oh, what the fuck is this? I've never heard this song." And then suddenly it's on every commercial. You know what I mean? Your brain just starts to pick up on the back. And then the benefit itself came to be because during the pandemic, because I'd done a lot of charity work before, for different, organizations and gigs and stuff like that as a stand-up and whatever. And then the pandemic hit, and those organizations were having a hard time. So me and my friends, I wound up being asked to co-produce. We broke a Guinness World Record. It was a 93-hour comedy stream, all comedians. We booked over 300 comedians and stayed up for 93 hours.
Wow.
The record. And but it was for the Children's Brain Tumor Foundation and this thing called Star Treatments that was done by this heavy metal band. I can't remember the name, but Star Treatments takes kids to and from their treatment centers like they're a rock star. So they would, a limo would show up, and they get in a limo, and they'd be filled with candy and movies and whatever. So it wouldn't be as scary having to go.
Yeah.
So, so we raised a bunch of money for them and did that thing. And then it came time to do something else, and it was like the first thing I'd ever really like co-produce or produce, and it was just a lot of like me making phone calls and whatever, and doing that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm actually pretty like, this is fun for me. Like, I like it. And then it came time for like, I did a podcast. I started my podcast, Dystopia Tonight, shortly after that. And after the first go around, I'd had so many guests because I was doing it live every night, Monday through Thursday, 8:30 every night during the pandemic on Twitch. And we built a following. And then I was just like, yeah, we'll do one for the National MS Society. I'll stay awake for 24 hours. And I'm going to ask all the previous guests that I've become friends with, that I've had on, to come and do it. And lo and behold, they all said yes. And all the comedians that I had, Robert Klein, Lewis Black, and I'd become good friends with Glenn Phillips from Toad the Wet Sprocket, and I asked him to do it, and Steve Cropper, and Stephen Page from Bare Naked Ladies, and it turned into like a thing. The first time around, we didn't know quite what we were doing and what the goal was, but we were like, we were still all locked down pretty much.
Right.
And then from that point on, it was like, well, we're going to do this again. And I'm the type of person where if I do something once one way, the next thing is like, well, we got to do it better.
Yes.
And we got to figure it out. And I'm going to do it again
the
and again. So, so we really did it. We really put ourselves out there. And it's now we're in our 5th year. And we've got a crazy lineup. And Paul Schaefer's done it 3 years in a row. Beth Broderick's done it every year. She's the aunt from Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Zelda. And my God, who the hell? And then, Lewis Black is doing it. Ray Romano. When we have people sending in videos and stuff, and we've got a bunch of new guests that we've got on that are doing it this year. And every year we bring in either new people or some of the same old ones who want to come and help out, and they really enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, it's a good cause. I mean, it's great to kind of, be contributing something like that is so helpful to so many people. Yeah.
Yeah. It's raising awareness is probably, I mean, I'm not like a fundraiser. Like I don't, it's not my job. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my expertise, like to raise the money, but, helping to raise awareness. Like I granted, we raised $45,000 last year, but, just to be able to raise awareness and have people like the visibility of it and stuff like that is really interesting to me. And building that community is really interesting. So.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've kind of stepped into that with the autism community because of my daughter, and just having just more conversations around it, because most people don't really understand it, or they kind of really go like worst case scenario with it. Like when you mention it, like right away they're like, "Oh, Rain Man," and I'm like, "Well, sometimes."
Right. Sometimes, I mean, I haven't taken her any casinos yet, but
yeah, you know what I mean. But like that's kind of where people go with it. So it's good to have forums where you can kind of reintroduce it to people and let them know that this is what it is, and yes, it can be pretty extreme, but there are also other ways that you can manage it and approach it from a different perspective, and not be put off by it because it's automatically on site. It's like, it's too much for me. Can't handle that.
You said your daughter's autistic?
Yes.
I have a cousin that's that's also autistic, and lives in England, and he's a great dude, but it is one of those things that, again, like once you either have a family or somebody or whatever, it is one of those things that's like, very you become certainly more aware of.
Yeah, you do, especially because when it directly affects you that way, and how you navigate your life and the way people are towards you because of it, and because they don't know enough about it to feel comfortable enough to be around it. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to find someone that's just kind of like, oh yeah, whatever, so's my cousin, or so's whatever, because some people are just like, it's just too much for them. And really through her, it's taught me a lot more, not only about myself but other people too. And it's weird how I always say that most people are passing because they look normal, right? Like they're, you know what I mean? Like they look the part, but they're probably one of the craziest motherfuckers in the room. You know what I mean? Like you just don't know. And yet, like, my daughter, for all her little things and quirks, is probably one of the most well-behaved kids. that you'll meet. And I'm not like making a brag, like it's true. Like most kids are like whining and crying and whatever. And like, she just was never that kid. So I was grateful for that. Like, you know, parents would have those horror stories about, oh, my kids. And then I'm just sitting there like,
yep, I know.
like, oh,
I get it.
Sucks.
Yeah.
That really sucks, Jane.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, oh my God. And then you don't bring your kid around them because you're like, don't do whatever they're doing. I don't know what they had, but Jesus Christ.
I know, right? That's just for the sake of, you're like, oh, I know, right? Oh
yeah, I know. Some kids, right? And then
terrible.
You like, and then you take your daughter out for ice cream, like, thank you for being so cool.
Yeah, seriously. No, she really is. I mean, she's really fun, and she's hideously like me, which is frightening. So I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, it is. She's fun. She's really cool. But yeah, I mean, I totally get it. Like wanting to advocate and do more and do what you can and use your gifts and your talent and put it to service in a way that also kind of makes you feel good. And like
that's
you said, like you can bring your community together. You've got all your friends and all the people you've met along the way, and being like, hey, you know, rally the troops. I'm doing this thing. And, you know, and so when is this one jumping off?
May 27th to the 28th, 8 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Wow.
And Art Alexakis from Everclear opens it up with me every year. Art's a good friend and has MS as well. He actually announced it on Dystopia Tonight when we were first doing the podcast, which is crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, he's been great. And this year we also have Danelle Umstead, who's a 4-time Paralympian who's got MS and is also blind.
Wow.
And it's just one of those things where we were like, my friend and I, before we even knew that Danelle was a woman, we were like, because again, we didn't know if it was like, we were like, is it Danelle? Is it Daniel? Like,
right.
Is it, how do you know, whatever.
Like,
but we're like, yeah, but we were like, look, yeah. We were like looking at the thing, but we were like, before we even found out for sure, we were like, it has to be a woman because there's no way, like 4-time Paralympian, MS, also blind. Like I've had a cold and wanted to die. Like I'm like, only a one, like, you know what I mean? Where she's like, I'm not gonna let this stop me. And meantime, like if I have like a hangnail, I'm like, can we just not do anything today?
I need like 20 minutes to recover.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
100%.
Wow. So so where does this happen? Like, is there a dedicated place, or is this all like online, or?
It is on. Oh, sorry, I was thinking about it for a second, and I was like, "Is it online?" No. We tried to do a hybrid. I was deciding whether or not I wanted to go into. We're working on it being a hybrid.
Okay.
I would very much like it to branch off into a live venue for part of it, and then the 24 hours is still like it's still streamed online, which is where it started. But I would very much like to incorporate a live audience and stuff.
Like, what was it like back in the day? The Jerry Lewis telethon?
Oh yeah, the Jerry Lewis telethon. Is that what that was?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'd love it to be broadcast somewhere too, if Netflix somebody would pick up on it, but we'll see.
Right.
I think we're gonna do that next year. But for right now, it is on Twitch. And you can find it at bit.ly/dystopia all night 26.
There you go.
You can donate there, and you can also watch the stream live.
Nice.
On Twitch.
Awesome. Well, I'll be posting up the links for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, great lineup this year. Paul Schaefer, Rob Paulson, Maurice LaMarche, who are Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah.
Charles Fleischer, who's Roger Rabbit.
I quote that man all the time.
Yeah, it's Colin Quinn, Stephen Wright. I can't remember. It's 80 guests.
I mean, there's
80.
Obviously it's a galaxy of stars, which is amazing.
Yeah, and people for sending in performing. Jarrett Reddick, who's the lead singer of Bowling for Soup. Michael Gablicki, who is the lead singer of Rusted Root, and John Hampson and a bunch of other great artists. Nice. So it's all good musicians, comedians, actors, other humans. I don't know.
Other various human
beings.
Producers.
People I'm hoping have a following.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can gather that it could be a bit overwhelming, especially as it grows and grows each year. It's just like, wow. And then, I'm sure it's got to be, humbling each time. Like somebody else agrees, somebody new. You're just like, wow, who knew that it was going to kind of blossom and become what it has, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm. when it first started to really explode, it did become this surreal thing of like, do they know, like, this is...
Yeah, did you have like a panic moment? Like, did you freak out?
Well, because people will literally go like, how the fuck are you getting, are you bringing all these people together?
Right.
And I don't have an answer.
Yeah.
I just invite them to talk on the podcast, and then we wind up either working together or,
right.
Like I've opened, like Jake Clemens had done it, and Jake Clemens had done the podcast and whatever, and it's, he's touring with Springsteen all the time in the Street Band because he took over for his uncle,
right,
as saxophone, but they'll be like, oh, and then I open for him at the Stone Pony and stuff, but they'll be like, oh, how do you do whatever? And I'm like, I literally just say, hey, do you want to do this? And if they do, that's great. And if they don't, I don't, it's not a hassle, but it is, I just think it's, sometimes I don't think people will take the initiative to do anything either. Like, because I'm not doing anything that like, grand, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, again, maybe I don't want to discredit a relationship that I've built with people either,
just think to other people, I think the perception of it just seems, again, like maybe so out of reach for them to be able to, you know what I mean? I think that might be why some people are like, how do you do it? Because, how do I do it? Right? Like, it's like, where's that blueprint for me? Or how do I achieve that?
What's funny? I've definitely gotten that a lot. And when I've given people, and I'm like, well, this is how I do this. And I've kind of been like, I do this and I find out this and I go through that process and then I call whatever. I can literally see it in their face. Like, yes, I don't want to do that. Oh,
I can literally the gears start turning in the opposite direction.
Like they do kind of go like, oh, I just thought you like clicked your heels and like other people. I'm like, no, there's work involved.
A bit of work, darling. Yeah, just a little bit. But I mean that's the thing, and being in the restaurant business, and I've always performed as well. Like I was in band and chorus, and like you couldn't stop me when I was little. Like I swore I was Blondie.
What instrument did you play?
Clarinet.
Oh, nice. My nephew plays clarinet.
Nice. I love it.
He just did his first solo. It was a Jurassic Park solo.
Good for him. Yeah. Good for him. I love the clarinet so much. And I had such a great teacher, Mr. Wasserman, in school. And I mean, we were all a bunch of ghetto kids. I mean, like ghetto is ghetto. Mm-hmm. But like he knew how to find where you were going to be in the band, like he knew like the kids that were all kind of all over the place, like the ADHD kids, I guess you would say now.
Sure.
They were percussion. You're going to bang on some stuff and work that out. And the other ones, the ones that were a bit more shy and quiet, like some of us got put in woodwinds, some of us played the flute and saxophone. And I mean, and he just brought us together and took his time. And I remember
all my friends were in band too.
Yeah. Like the first time when we all played the song together and just we were in unison and we were in harmony, and like that feeling is such a magical moment when you're just like you're on something else. You can't even explain it. And I think it's like that when you're doing stuff like this, when you're putting it together. I think for some people, because of your experience in your life, like it just comes kind of naturally to you to just kind of be like, hey, and because of all the people that you've been around in your life, like these are the circles that you travel in, so these are the people that you're asking. Because that's who you know what I mean? And that's when I think that's the vantage point where, because I get that sometimes too from people, like how did you get that person, how do you talk to them? And it's just kind of like, well, that's just where it's at.
Or and sometimes I literally will be like I don't covet anything in particular. Like I hate that kind of shit because I'm like, unless I really don't like it. But sometimes it is just one of those things where I'm like, oh, so-and-so, called so-and-so, did whatever. And that's how it went up. And I also think they don't like that answer too much either, because they're like, oh, okay. And it's like, well, no, I mean, like, if I can do it myself, I'll do it for you. But I just, this is how I had to go do it. Or like, I remember like a dude who's considers himself a comic, I think, or something like that, but does a radio station. I have no problem to drop it. This is not my issue. I know how to swim.
Like I'll do what I gotta do.
But he's just a pompous ass. But I remember him having to write something on when I had Leno on, and he was very weird about it. But also did like kind of a shitty job, like at the same time. So I was like, he wrote this piece. I'm like, that's fine. And then he was like, give me the information how you got Leno or whatever, And then I was also like, this is how I did it. And I don't think he liked my, because personally, I just called a studio and whatever. And then I was like, you can do that and talk. And nobody wants to, like, just no. Like they're either too awkward to. And that was the other thing too, is I was like, he's doing a benefit. You can call the State Theater and then do it that way too. And they were like, dismissive of it. And I was like, hey man, like,
well, then don't ask.
I'm not going to give you the now, like this is the process.
If you're going to ask how I did it, that's what I did.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm very much a shoot my shot type of person, which is how I've gotten a lot of my opportunities, by just being like, fuck it, I'm just going to ask.
Right.
And throw caution to the wind. And if it's a yes, that's great. If it's a no, that's fine. And it's afforded me to have some great conversations and get into some great rooms with people just because I asked, and it's also the way that you ask.
Yeah, oh my
it's
God,
how you present yourself, and
that's another thing too. It's very hard to be like, well, I'm personable, right? Because you don't, it's not something I'm
like me, God damn it, yeah.
Yeah, and you can't say that to people either because they're very much like, oh, people don't like me, and I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, you tell me, dude. Like,
I think it's just that there are certain things that I think people just possess naturally, and obviously you have a lot that you possess in that way. Like it's natural for you to be, personable and funny and engaging but like real, you're like authentic, like you're not putting on airs, you're not being fake about anything, you're not schmoozing and doing all, you know what I mean, all the shit that you hear all the freaking time. Like there's no hyperbole
all the time.
To it. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah,
exactly.
Like you want to sit down, talk, and hang out and have a good time and help some people out for a little bit, and like that's it. You're not really asking that much from them, what I mean?
Right.
Other than, what I mean? So I think that's what it is. And then, who doesn't want to like be a part of something bigger than themselves too, like,
oh my God. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. So I think,
that's
Live
great. Aid is what I always think. You know what I mean? I'm like, those were fucking awesome,
Yes. Well, I think you're on your way to creating something similar to that in what you're doing. I think because like you said, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Hopefully next year you'll have kind of like a venue / like a half and half thing, and as it grows and as the word spreads about it, like I think more and more people are going to want to be a part of it. And who knows, you may get that Live Aid kind of situation where it's like, how the hell
that would be fucking awesome. That would be epic.
Why not?
I would love to do that.
Why not?
I think there needs to be that kind of attention for MS.
Yeah. I mean, that's something, because that's how that you're really like serving a purpose.
Yeah.
And, that you're really helping other people because you genuinely want to do it. It's not like
it's like an Avengers situation. You know what I mean? Everybody gets together. You've all got different talents and skills, and then you hope it helps.
And it does. I mean, it really does. I think, we don't really know how the things that we do are going to travel. You know, like who's going to see it, who's going to be inspired by it. Like I always say, like, I don't mind being the big lighter to your candle. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. Like,
That's a great, good quote.
Listen. I mean, because that really, like, that's what we're doing here. I mean, we know so many people that are talented, that are insanely creative, and some of them are out there doing it and some of them aren't because of whatever they're going through. And
absolutely,
sometimes you got to be the little elbow nudge for people to be like, come on, come on now.
No, I get it. I know what you mean.
Yeah. But it's important to do. I mean, you're doing important work. So I hope you are proud of yourself and give yourself a moment.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, listen.
I think once it ends, then I'm like, and then I get to process it. And literally leading up to the very last moment, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this?
No, I know. You get to the end and you're like, wow, But then, you did that.
Yeah,
they're
just very. What the thing is, too, is really cool is all these people, 80-something guests, all with different backgrounds, talents.
Yes.
And different levels of fame all throughout their careers and resurgences and all that stuff.
Yep.
What's very cool is how humble they are about doing something like this, and willing, and only either knowing me for a brief time and or whatever it is. Like, I don't take any of that for granted. I think that's,
lightly.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's phenomenal, but it just makes me like, it's such a nerdy thing too, because it's like, oh, cool. Like all the people who made my, life a little bit more bearable, either through animation or acting or comedy or whatever, are also just cool as shit.
Yeah.
And like I called Maurice LaMarche today, and he's done the podcast, and we've kept in touch and everything, but he's doing the benefit for the first time this year. And I just called him to confirm something. And he called me right back, and he was like, "Oh God, did I miss it?" Like, and I'm like, "Oh man, like that, like just that level of concern of like, And not only that, but he'd like accidentally double booked something, and I was like, "Oh, let me move. Like, I'll just move your time slot. It's fine.
Right.
24 hours."
Yeah.
But I really had him locked into a great place because I have him with Charles Fleischer and Rob Paulson, which is just a great animation company, you know. And he was like, "No. He's like, I booked this first, like." I'll move the other thing, you know, I made a promise to you. And I'm just like, you don't even know, you know what I mean? Like, but we, you know, it's that other thing too of like, I'm trying to like, just even the comedy thing or like the stand-up stuff or whatever, where like you do like, Stephen Wright, you know, he had done the benefit for the first time last year, and he's never done the podcast. I just happened to, my manager, something like that, wound up doing a thing where I was like, well, let's try to get Steven. I don't know what he's doing. And we had never met before. Called me on the phone. And then now we just like, we'll talk like back and forth every now and again. And he's not a social media guy. So when I get a call from him, you know, I just take the call. But was great last year. Texted me like how much fun he had. It was him. I had him and Paul Reiser on the same hour with Jorge Calderon, who was Warren Zevon's writing partner and best friend. And you know, and is a great musician and singer on his own, right? And then, but like they all kind of, it was almost like second, like Jorge was a huge fan of Steven. Paul had seen Jorge and, oh my God, fucking blanking on another great musician's name, but back in the 70s or something like that or whatever. So like, they're all like already reminiscing and getting involved. And so they had such a great time, but like, again, like it's one of the things where like Steven and I've never met him in person. We don't know each other, but we will talk on the phone. And it's just that it's just that thing of, you have experience in what I do. And it's very similar, and we understand it.
It's the brethren effect, I think. Like when it's often like when you walk into a restaurant, you meet other cooks. When you go somewhere and you find out someone cooks for a living or works in a restaurant, it's kind of like just this automatic, like you're in the club, like, okay, you know, come in.
Or and just like,
it, you know, they understand.
And having like just there's just a bond. You just kind of get it, and you know what you're trying, and no matter, and there's no like, you know, one person's, you know, it just, I don't know, it just feels like, fuck, like if you like each other, you just, that's just it. It's just, you know, you wind up talking forever.
That's it. And you know, great. Like all of those dudes that you mentioned are like seasoned veterans. So it's like, they're pretty good at like vetting people out.
Beyond.
Feeling, you know, like they know who to avoid and who to lean into. And I mean, obviously, you know, they see something in you that makes them feel, you know, like comfortable enough with it to be like, they can like, yeah, sure, why not? And you know,
I guess so. Yeah, I hope so.
Well, obviously, because I mean, they're doing it, and you're able to engage with them and talk to them, and you know, have that kind of rapport with them, which is, you know, really special. You know, I mean, it really is.
It's funny to me too, because I'm sure you've had this experience where like the surreal nature of your inner geek. Being like, hey man, this is fucking cool as shit, you know, and then having to like
just compose yourself.
There's definitely times where I've just been like, hey man, right off the bat, I'm fucking psyched. Just a heads up, thanks for, you know, whatever. And then you just kind of go on, because I'm like, I can't ignore it.
How can you not though? How can you not like take a minute and be like, look, I just want to tell you like how much you've meant to me in my life, you know? And because honestly, it's like, because it's true, number one. And it's like, you're not like kissing their ass. You're just like, you know, I have this opportunity now that we're in the same proximity, just to let you know, like, you're doing good things, man. And you've helped me through a lot. And I'm so, you know, thank you, you know, for being here. And, you know, how full circle it is for you that all of your paths have crossed when they did. And that you got put in this position, you know, that you were able to do this.
Very wild.
Create something that, I mean, it has to blow your mind sometimes a little bit.
I mean, I've talked to astronauts, you know, that I've had on the podcast who come back in.
Some of the guests that you've had, I'm like, that is just amazing. So cool.
It is insane.
just to be able to have all these like amazing human beings that have just done things that like you could only imagine. You know, like, dude, like you've been to space, man. Like you've on
the ISS, helped build the goddamn thing.
That's insane.
And then worked up there forever and jammed out on guitar and just, comedians.
And then you made it back down to the ground.
Yeah, exactly. And now writes books and shit. And he's he's fantastic. He's a great dude.
Incredible. It's incredible. And I think it's great because, how much we get to learn from all of these people.
Yes.
How much we have learned and what we'll continue to learn. And like you said, like you're keeping the awareness going and you're reintroducing them to a newer audience of people that may not have been, familiar with them before. So, I mean, it really, like I said, it really is kind of serving its purpose all around.
Yeah, that is the best.
And we need it now more than ever. Like people need to get back to laughing. I say this all the time. Like everybody needs to get over it and start laughing again and, get into the comedy and the crack up and the old school stuff and new school and, all of it. Like just make a big giant gumbo and let's just eat.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's great.
And when we do it live at a real place, you can come and be the chef and cook some amazing thing. And you can try to teach me how to cook because I don't know how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then, we'll try. I'll try not to set anything on fire. I burnt a DiGiorno one, so it's not like it's a.
We've all done it.
It's
We've
rough.
all done it. It's the oven's fault.
I think I ate it out of spite. I was like, I will eat this.
Right.
It was like burnt to a crisp. Yeah, no. Horrible.
I know what the darkness tastes like.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
I was like,
you can say you've tasted it. But no, that would be, that's kind of, because I've talked to Matt about this all the time. Like one of like the ultimate things like for me to be able to do is to do something like that, just to, get with a bunch of other like-minded people and kind of just put the skills together to kind of contribute to a cause that means something and contribute something, but just to be able to feed the people and make them feel good. And like I did Sundance like a long time ago, and the vibe was so crazy because that was the year. It was 2004. So yeah, we're going like way back.
So you graduated high school.
Yeah. well, I was already doing my thing. No, whatever. I don't care. But it was the year like Some Kind of Monster, the Metallica documentary was out. The Butterfly Effect with Ashton Kutcher.
That's right.
So it's like we were on the plane with like
You are mine.
We were on the plane with like all of like the secondaries, like the stunt doubles, the stand-ins, like all these people, and I sat next to the guy who doubled for Ashton Kutcher.
Wow.
And he was so proud of it, man. He was like, yeah, man, don't I look like him? And I was like, a little.
I'm like, I don't know. The Butterfly Effect may have gotten you, my dude.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
not really
don't
sure.
try that on me, man.
Yeah.
Wait till we land.
You were going to be Ashton Kutcher, and then a butterfly flapped its wings in fucking Brazil, and you got the shit.
But that was a really
stick.
cool, like, celebrity-filled experience. But it was like this reversal because we were the first chefs invited there to do this thing that they called Chef Dance. So it was the first time they took it from like doing all of the booths and things and actually made it like dedicated where they had like a catering spot. We were like cooking actual food, sit down dining, all of that stuff. And like Rhea Perlman and Danny DeVito came up to us, and the dude from Saved by the Bell, the principal, like he was like Pimp Daddy Magoo, man. He had women.
Oh my God.
Oh, I was like, oh my God.
I think he's dead.
I know, but he was fun. He was fun.
Yeah.
Though. But he was pimping. He was big pimping. But like people were really coming up to us and, being like, oh my God, the food was great. And, like you're talking to me, like you're giving me praise and like, you're like one of the greatest actors of all time. But like, that's what happens to you when you kind of, get set on that path and you get to meet these people that you've admired your whole life. And I was like, Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman are the tiniest, cutest people.
So great. So great.
Yeah, so awesome.
Danny's a big Jersey guy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm from the Bronx originally. So
oh, nice. I'm from Brooklyn originally.
There you go. What's up, the Bronx?
Yeah, what up?
What's up? It's always like that. Now I'm out in California. But the sun never goes away.
Yeah, seriously. I get it.
Oh my God. Sourdough, Dutch crunch. Sprouts on your sandwich. Yes. Oh my God.
That's a blast.
Well, since you're still working on your sushi, let's roll it into some food stuff again.
Sure.
So what would you say is a guilty pleasure meal of yours?
It
could be anything, like anything.
A guilty pleasure meal.
Yeah, like something like you would just like turn the lights off and eat in the dark. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Everything, I think, but
yeah.
A guilty pleasure meal. I honestly probably getting myself a Taco Bell party pack.
Nice.
Just 12 tacos.
Yeah. Are you doing crunchy or supreme?
Crunchy.
Like, yeah.
Crunchy. I don't care if it's supreme.
Okay.
There's got to be like at least a couple Doritos tacos in there.
Okay.
With the shells.
Right.
But yeah, man, I used to get a Taco Bell party pack.
Nice.
And I think I had names for them all too. It was like the taco of regret, like the taco of like, because it was just like one after the other, like
right.
progression
Like
into
each
your
one
own
has its own place. Yeah.
Personal.
Yeah.
And I used to also just fuck myself over and order like that, and then also a Crunchwrap Supreme and the cinnamon twist.
Yeah, you need all the things though.
Yeah,
you need them all. Like you can't. Yeah. Like you want the tacos, but you need to have the other accoutrements to go with it.
Because I don't eat fast.
I had Taco Bell 3 days ago, and it was the first time I'd had it in a long time.
Beautiful.
And I had my 3 crunchy tacos, and I am all the sauces. So I do all the mild, medium, whatever, all of it. And I tried their, what is it, the new little taco salad thing?
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet.
It's good.
Yeah. Oh. Can't wait.
I was like, I might need a cigarette after this. I don't even smoke. Yeah, it was great. It was really, really good and so worth it. And I was like, yeah, I need to do this again.
Yeah. I have this, like, I have a thing where like, I'll just crave it and I'll be like, yeah, no, it's going to be a Taco Bell night. Yes. I'm coming home from, I fucking love it. And a large Baja Blast.
Yes. Absolute must.
That's for sure. I don't even think I would eat that in the dark though. I think I would just,
hit the life, baby. Watch me crunch. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. My girlfriend and I recently too, like we hadn't had like junk in a while. And we were watching like we decided to like stream all the Harry Potter movies. And then we were going to watch like the last 2 or something. And I went out.
Yeah. You need to get the supplies for that.
I got like Twizzler, like this fucking pack of Twizzlers that I still think I'm finishing off. Fucking pack of Twizzlers, like 2 different bags of like Sour Patch gummies, popcorn, a chocolate bar, like thing, whatever. And it was literally like, you ever see that Simpsons clip where Homer's just on the couch?
Yeah,
I think it's right before he has a heart attack. He's just like, it's like, and that's what I was doing.
Yep. Hey man, we only get one go around,
Yeah. And it's good every now and again.
You go to the movies and you put all the candy and everything in the popcorn bucket. It's just a free for all. Like, why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The M&Ms in a popcorn bucket are fucking gold.
Yes. Speaking of, I bought some M&Ms the other day.
Did you have the new ones? They're in a red bag or like a, oh God, what are they? It's like something cake. It's like a chocolate raspberry something cake or whatever the fuck it is. I don't fucking know. I can't remember what they are, but holy shit, they're good. Well, they have that and a lemon meringue one, but that sucks.
Well, it's like that with Kit Kats, right? With all the flavors they have with Kit Kats and stuff too. Like they have all this.
What have they been around 100 years? Like you never thought to put a strawberry in a Kit Kat? But like,
what really pisses me off though, Oreos. I'm like, stop it.
I'm a fool. I will always. I think I have new ones in my fridge. I'm a sucker, but I think one of the ones I got shit on the most about from my friends was I bought watermelon Oreos and they were like, why? But not bad.
Why not?
They were pretty good.
Why not?
But a bunch of them will suck. I'm not a big fan of like the vanilla cookie. Yeah. I like only that. Like I much prefer when they do like a weird flavor, but it's
in the center of the cream. Yeah, for sure. I know because like we had bought some of the vanilla ones, like just the yellow, whatever the hell they are, and I just was like, these are like freaking lame, dude. Like why?
The Doom ones are pretty good. The Avengers Doomsday ones.
Yes,
those are really tasty.
Yeah, but like the plain Jane ones, like I was like, I need to be dipping these in some coffee or something. Like you need some
exactly. Help. The Reese's peanut butter ones were actually really good too.
Those were good. Yeah. Damn. Those were like yeah.
I know. We're all like, I'm gonna get something after this. It's gonna be good.
I know. I get in my moods too. Like you just want to eat crap like all day long. Like you just want nachos and
I would love to.
Swedish fish and like
oh god, Swedish fish is it's so good. That's why I love going to the movies, because it really is like for some reason in my brain calories don't count, and I'm like,
no, they don't. It's like when you go on vacation too. Calories don't count on vacation either.
Or when I'm driving doing 85 on the
when you're on the road, they don't count. When you're doing a gig, they don't count. just let me eat. Leave me alone. Don't judge me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's say, let me ask you my $1 million question here.
Go for it.
I'm curious. So if you could describe yourself as a 3-course meal, an appetizer, entree, and dessert, what would you be and why? Yeah.
That's a great question.
Isn't it? Everyone's answer is amazing. There is no wrong answer to this at all.
A 3-course meal.
Yes. The beginning, the middle, and the end.
Damn.
Yeah.
I would start. Okay, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go like French toast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go with what I like. I don't know if it describes me in any particular, but I would go. It's like sweet and savory. French toast with the syrup and the powder and the bananas. You know, caramel, some of the nuts, whatever the fuck, strawberries, and then like a side of eggs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever. That's pretty great. Maybe some bacon. You know, good breakfast. Middle of the day, I don't know, the next meal, I would say some kind of sandwich. Just sandwich and a bag of chips, 2 Cokes.
Yeah.
And then end of the day, just a fucking New York pizza. Fresh out of the oven, brought back to the apartment.
Yeah.
To relax. And again, 2 Cokes in a glass for that one. That's what I think. I feel like those. I don't know if that's the correct.
No, there is no incorrect answer. I mean, it's really just it. I asked that question a lot because I kind of treat it for me like a bit of a Rorschach test.
Oh God, what was mine?
Well, no, because some people, because I'm just like insane about that kind of stuff. But like a lot of people describe themselves in a very refined sense. So for some people, they're caviar, they're oysters, they're filet mignon, they're champagne. You know, then other people are like, I'm a freaking plate of nachos with everything on it, with buffalo wings and a vanilla sundae with caramel and all, you know what I mean? Like it really, but it describes them. You know what I mean? Because it's really like if you were gonna like you wanted people to get to know you through food, like how would that be for you, right? So for you, you're gonna start off strong and then you're kind of pulling it back a little bit to like it's almost like here I am. And then this is really me chilling with a pizza.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like once you get through all that, then we're just going to chill and go get some pizza and hang out and have a good time.
Yeah.
So that to me reads like that's your personality of like, here I am. Here's the breakfast buffet, all the hits, everything you love. Then you're going to get to know me and then we're going to go get a really good sandwich and some chips and really just chill and get to know each other. And then, now we're just going to get some pizza and just relax.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me.
Beautiful.
So, that's why I asked that question because everybody's answer is different. There's no wrong answer. And it's always fun because some people like get really nervous about it and they're like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah. Don't worry.
I don't know what to say.
It's not like, forever. We're not last mealing you.
Food. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really
you're not
like
on.
To eat.
You're not on death row.
Exactly. Right. I just had some pork and beans. Is that okay? Like, yes, it is. It's all right. If that's what you love, it's all right.
Psycho, I guess. Fuck.
Yes. But I love New York pizza. It's been so long since I've had like real New York pizza. Pizza's so hard to find out here. Like
it is.
It exists, but it's not like there where you could just go to your favorite spot on the corner and go get it. Like
I was just talking to my friend.
You really have to like know where it is.
Yeah. You and you have to hope they're from Brooklyn, that they open up in California.
And then it's not try our new sourdough crust.
Yeah,
like no,
and it has poured the water.
Exactly. Oh my God, it's insane. Insane. Alrighty, so let's shout you out one more time. Tell everybody where they can find you, where they can stalk you.
Please follow me on Instagram. It's just at John Poveromo, JohnPoveromo. And you can go to johnpoveromo.com and dystopiatonight.com.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. And shout out the MS.
Yeah, the MS benefit to donate is bit.ly/dystopia all night 26, all lowercase.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me. It was so much
fun.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Had a blast.
I really do.
Thanks for letting me eat.
Yeah. Are you done? Did you finish?
I've got 4 more left.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. And thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we will see you in the next one.
See you soon. Peace.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Mystic Meals Podcast. The Mystic Meals Podcast with your host and producer, Chef Nikki Meow. Kick-ass music by 3 Parts Acid. Follow 3 Parts Acid at 3 Parts Acid on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. The amazing artwork by Art by Bruce 13. Follow Art by Bruce 13 on Instagram. And I'm your voice with the most. I'm Jason Neer. This has been the Mystic Meals Podcast. The Mystic Meals Podcast, copyright 2026. See you next time, kids.